Hello. Hello, guys. Yo, hip jib, thank you very much. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be streaming, and you have come to the best stream of all time. Thank you very much, Hardstock4242. Appreciate it for the gifted sub. Bro, Thorin is the most gangster person ever. He's way he's way too gangster, dude. I just oh man. God bless them both, man. God bless them both, man. I have so much fun. It's like, bro, I have so much fun with these homies. It's a blessing. Will you watch K-Corp match today? Yes, I will. Yes, I will. Bro, today we're gonna be streaming all day. All day. We're gonna be streaming all day. We got K-Corp. We got FNATIC reviews. We've got LCS co-streams. We have FNATIC G2 versus Astralis review. We're gonna absolutely pop off today. Absolutely pop off today. So welcome to the stream, guys. We're gonna have a lot of fun. Let me just finish this message, guys, and then we're gonna begin. Yeah. Let's put on some tunes in the back. Meanwhile, yeah, VidConnect and all of that jazz. I released this episode of Voice of Yamato for those who are interested. I'm gonna write it in the chat, but you guys can catch that later because now we're gonna be streaming live. We're gonna enjoying ourselves. Yeah. Thank you. Me on the Voice of Yamato 41. That was an absolute pleasure. Below all the topics we have covered. You guys really enjoyed the VidConnect shit, yeah? VidConnect! Bro, I still can't believe I did that shit, dude. I can't believe it. Bro, I tried to push myself so hard outside of my comfort zone. I really pushed myself outside of my comfort zone. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. It was mental, man. It was mental. Ziomek środa dzisiaj, ale następną środą. What was VidConnect? No, it's good to see all of you. Welcome to the stream once again, yeah? We're going to be covering a lot today, but I need to take a piss and get some water. Will you guys stick around with me? So let me see what else I can bake here today. So yesterday I already reacted to the LS video. I think it was a very solid video. I liked it, enjoyed it. I think we should review. We should review, guys, FNATIC. That's for sure. What is this clip? What is this clip? I'm getting these fucking thirst clips always recommended to me.
I hope Mad wins XCD. And they won! So,
Wait,
Mad won because of me. Yeah, I told you I like Kazi.
Oh yeah, Karzi. What do you like about Karzi?
I like his personality, he's funny.
Yeah, he's funny.
Did you know that he had different colored eyes?
Yeah, he does actually.
No.
Kazi's got that Rengar thing going on.
Yeah. Yeah, he does. I think one of them's like green and one of them's brown.
Yeah, well, have you seen my plant?
Yeah, your plant looks pretty green and brown.
That's right.
Jesus. Kendall is so nervous, no? That's so cute. That's the most awkward shit ever. I love it. Oh, shit. Oh, I love that. That is brilliant. That is fucking brilliant. I live for shit like that. Guys. Let's see Loli Sports schedule. Loli Sports schedule. It's very cute, yes, very cute. Okay, Carmine Corp. So we have at 21, we're going to be reviewing this one. So it means we have 4 hours of good shit. 4 hours of good shit. Let's see now. Let's pull up the pick and bans here. Boom, one. We're going to make it into dark mode and we're going to flashbang you guys. And then we're going to check out, we're going to tune into what happened with Korea too. Pick and ban. Wait, I want to do it the other way. All right, let's do Korea, pick and ban, boom. And then we have China, boom. Should we analyze North American pick and ban too? No. All right. Week 79. Week 79. Oh, flashbang. Okay, individual games. LCK. So there's a lot of games that I missed actually. This is going to be an absolute banger tomorrow. This is going to keep us busy, that's for sure. Live Sandbox 13.5. Okay, 13.5 already. 13.5. What happened 13.5? Let me just give myself a quick reminder. Some PCS. Oh shit. Oh shit, guys. Oh fuck. Oh shit, it's this patch. Oh no. Okay, no Yumi. No Yumi. Oh, Seraphine, that's nice. I like the Seraphine here, that's cool. I like to see the Seraphine in such a game. Vegar Flex. That's pretty cool. Holy shit, this is a very cool draft. Interesting. Like Ashe Seraphine is a very strong combo. You can play both ways too. You can play AD or you can play with Seraphine support. You can choose. Probably gold is better on Seraphine though in most cases. Kungu, Jace first pick, Lee Sin, Rakan, or Gragas just completely ignored. No one gives a shit about Gragas in this series. Jesus. Gragas to me just seems so broken. Did it get nerfed on 13.5? No, he's completely untouched. Kennen it looks really OP to me. Kennen seems giga OP. Azir seems really dead. Ashe got changed. The W cooldown down. Okay. Jundamir got a minor buff. Jinx had a fine buff. Twitch too. Okay. We remember this. Oh, Vinosphere. Thank you very much for the tier 1 gifted sub. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. You are the smartest person in the room right now. Your IQ is overflowing and leaking out of your ears because you're so damn smart and beautiful. Thank you. Alright. So, LCK. Okay, so this is 13.4. I'm just looping myself in here. Okay, Aurelion Sol. Damn. Oh yeah, I saw this game. Oh, this game was so disgusting. This game was insanely disgusting. This is a series that I haven't watched yet. I need to kind of find time to review this one. T1, Nami steal away with a Sona lock-in. Spicy. Azir, Renekton, Talia. Draven out, blue side. Lucian, Nami lock-in, Stu, Caitlyn out, Ashe out. No Gragas prior. Lee Sin over Gragas. Lucian, Nami. Oh, T1. Interesting. I see this trend here with T1, right? It's like T1 always in first games of series before they start to like vibe out completely and enjoy themselves. Then you have these circumstances where, you know, they just lock in Lucian. They find Lucian Nami to be the highest prio. It's like that is so common. It's like always the first game of a series before they start to completely like enjoy themselves. It's like it's always Lucian Nami prio. Here they banned Lucian themselves. Here they ban Lucian themselves. Like, they value Lucian Nami so high. Here, nothing. No Lucian Nami pick, though, because Ashe showed. So maybe they didn't want to play against Ashe Varus, and they think that's losing. So Varus Ashe is a very strong lane into it, right? So that makes sense. Okay. Well, let's just explore a little bit more here. Genji, Yone, Renekton, and K'Sante, only top lane bans. I think with the Lees, you are kind of limited with what you pick top. I mean, for mid, interesting that they ban Renekton and K'Sante here. I think that's inaccurate by Liv Sam books. And then you have Genji, Varus first pick, Zeri, Sejuani, Jace, Karma, Vi, Talia, Jace top into K'Sante, Sean. Okay. Yeah, T1 seemed to think that Lucian Nami is giga strong. Interesting. Ali XZ, you know, props to you for starting out your league show, but my man, you know, there needs to be a value proposition for me to consider it, you know, and you know, much love to you, you know, and I respect for you for doing your own thing, but I need to put a value on my time, you know. It's like, it's very different for me to go on the show together with Dom and Thorin, you know. It's like, first and foremost, I know them super well. Second rotation of it, it's like these guys are really known in the community, right? And the value proposition is very clear. And currently I'm living in a way where I'm super busy all the time, so I need to really put a value on my time, you know. So, you know, when things are popping up for you, you know, you can come back to me, yeah? Hello, Shuya19. This is a nice way of me saying get good. I like the Blitzcrank spot here. This is a nice Blitzcrank spot. Graga Zeri, Viego GP, nice GP spot too. Oh, this is nice here. What Red Side did. I like this. I like this a lot. One thing maybe you could question is Azi, right? But I think you could put yourself in a position where you just pick jungle here on 2, and you just pick an AD jungler, and then you have those options. But Azi Zeri is a decent combination, right? But I think that Azi Zeri could have problems into the same champs, where the enemy team is going to like outrange you. The issue here is like they send Gragas into Azir, which in isolation is good, right? Because you can't like pressure him in ganks, you can't harass him, you know? And the only issue though is that this is a very easy game for Zeri to play. Very easy game for Zeri to play. Not sure if you've seen it, my thanks anywhere, but my wife bought a Cameo message for my 30th, so thank you. Oh, that's cool, that's cool. I haven't been doing Cameo recently because I feel I'm getting kind of scammed. I think if I want to do that, you know, I want to do it person to person rather than going through like some fucking second, some third party, you know. Yeah, it's BDD Azir. Azir, the BDD is just Korean Larson. So basically better Larson. Okay, let's take a look at what LPL is doing. So 13.4. This we checked out Rumble Ari Wukong. It's crazy. Rumble, just like that. To just pick your whole top side like that. That's crazy. Wukong, Zara, Canaphilios. Yeah, Renata I like. This is a big Renata value spot. Surprising yet they choose not to pick top on 4 instead of mid. The reason I say so is because I think there's more mid lane champions that can break the Aphelios Renata than anything else. But I think Syndra is not that bad, especially if the enemy is going to pick LeBlanc into you. It's like, this could be specific towards this team, because if the enemy picks LB here, you're really fucking happy, you know? You're really fucking happy. This is a very surprising result, honestly. Top esports. What's going on with top esports, my friends? Are they just badge? Vi first pick. Lee Sin, Wukong still in the picture. Zeri, Wukong, Felios, Cannon. Oh, 2-3 Cannon, that's interesting. Okay. I like the 2-3 Cannon, honestly. I think in a lot of cases you see the 2-3 top lane pick, and I think it kind of makes sense. I don't think that you gain more value out of top lane dropping it for 5. I think that you get more value from picking it 2-3 in a lot of cases. It's like we see a lot of Sion lock-ins, Cannon lock-ins. I think it makes sense because often here if you pick support on 2-3, the enemy matches and then they can blind top 4, and I think that it's better to put yourself in a position where the enemy blind pick support or they blind pick of course mid, and I think that you can get more value off of that. Guys, it's not Viper. Okay, this is a dank Olaf lock-in. It's a good Olaf. This is a monster Olaf game. Elise, Tristana, Jace out. Alistar. Pick Alistar here, really? Why would you want to play Alistar here? Imagine if you are based enough to send Nautilus top any support and pick Silas on 5 here into Alistar. Nah, Silas is too bad against Tristan, at least. It would be terrible. Okay. What else is baking here? Aphelios, Annie, Wukong, Elise, Zeri, Kisante, Brom. Okay. Yeah, let's see. I guess the main thing is like we're going to look at FNATIC, right? So let's review the FNATIC games. So basically my plan is that we're going to review the FNATIC games and then we're going to have a look at, I think, G2 versus Astralis was a very interesting game with a lot of things that you can learn from. But let's start off with the FNATIC situation. And let me just grab some water. Let me grab some water, guys, and let me go to the bathroom. So give me like 5 minutes. A little bit of a 5-minute angle, and then we rock and roll. Okay? All right, homies. You shouldn't drink and bake. Okay. Let's put on some nice tunes in the back. Yes, yes, yes. The volume is good for you guys? Yeah, oh, thank you very much, Coach Mephisto. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you very much, UAVM, for the nice comment. Appreciate it. Mephisto is officially the smartest person in the room. You guys know how it is. Please subscribe to the channel. Let's have a look here at what our homies baked. Thank you very much, Share FFTWT, for the subscription. You are now officially the second smartest person in the room. I like my actions, my words. Appreciate it. Appreciate your kind messages were very nice to hear. I did get my name from StarCraft, yes. Well, more so my brother who played StarCraft. I have never been a big fan of StarCraft. I played it a lot, but I wasn't really a big fan. I'm not a big fan of like the whole space. I feel like it's too dark and too grim, you know? I like the Warcraft 3 universe more. More of a fan of like medieval shit, you know, and you know, swords and sandals. It's more my scene. The visual still in the scene. Yes and no. When is the promised Polish stream? I said Schroeder. What do you think of Algeria? I don't have an opinion on Algeria. Algeria is probably great. A battle cruiser operational. Who called in the fleet? Thank you very much for the points, Warrington. Not that I get anything, but it just shows. That you're one of the real ones. Schroeder is today, but is also in 1 week. Your voice reminds me of Arnold. I'm always scared to say his last name out loud. I think Arnold is enough. Everyone knows already. Why talk about it if I say Arnold? Yeah. All right. Let's have a look. I think, you know, the key thing about Varro's ban on blue side is that Varro's ban on blue side kind of encourages the enemy team to ban a lot of champs, because usually what happens is like if Caitlyn is first picked, Varus is an answer. If Ashe is first picked, Varus is an answer, and you just pick a range support, right, and match it. So usually Varus ban on blue side, I think is pretty decent in the context of what we've seen so far. Aurelion Sol, I think if FNATIC managed to get their hands on Aurelion Sol, let me just show you guys, okay? It's just LOL pros. Let's go humanoid. I'm happy that he actually has the summoner name that I gave him the idea for, Wesley Warren Jr. If you guys Google what this means, it's basically Wesley Warren Jr. I'm just gonna Google it just so you guys know. I hope no pictures are gonna show up. He's the man who had the world's largest testicles. 132-pound scrotum. Yeah. All in all, we've got this, okay? It's like Aurelion Sol would solve so many problems of FNATIC because it allows you to put your mid lane in isolation and allows him to 1v9 just based off of like his ability to lane. So it's like you have to keep you have to assume that Aurelion Sol will always be banned against FNATIC. We continue. Gragas first pick. I think this champion is inherently really fucking strong. I think in this spot here, I'm surprised that you just don't slam Rakan on 3 while Heimerdinger can be a lot more comfortable to lane with, I think that Rakan, Sejuani, Zaya is just such a good basis to start from, because you're not going to have a lot of champions in the enemy team that will be able to thematically counter all of the champions. I think that's important to highlight. So I probably think that it's better. You're better off picking Rakan here, even though in isolation maybe Heimerdinger can be a little bit better against Annie. I just don't think it's worth it. I just really don't think it's worth it. Annie can also like auto Q and to break your turrets and so forth. I just feel like Rakan is the way to go here. Like Rakan got a lot of buffs. They also, not only the buffs that he got on this patch, but he got buffs in the past where they made him into a melee champ. Right? So the synergy between Rakan and Sejuani has gotten a lot better. Olaf, Wukong. I was surprised here that we didn't get a situation where they just fourth pick Victor. I thought that was their move. I think that when you have Sejuani mid, I think that there are champions that allow you to have synergy, but there's also like champions that don't care about synergy. And I feel like Talia is one of the champions that actually cares about synergy. I think Talia looks a lot better when you have Vi on your team, as an example. I just think that when Azir is out, probably they can look to pick Victor themselves. I'm thinking through the lens of who FNATIC are as players. And I think that they could look to pick Victor here because the synergy between Victor and Sejuani just doesn't matter. Sejuani usually want to pair it with melee champs. You saw Irelia Sejuani, and I think 5 picking top here is just something that makes more sense. Because once again, it's like you have paired Sejuani with Heimerdinger, Gnar, and Talia. And I think inherently there is, you just don't have enough force and in your composition to play fights well against an XL that primarily focuses on only that. So in my mind here, imagine a situation where they went Rakan on 3, and then they picked Victor on 4, and then they have a 5 pick top. Let's say they slam a Renekton, simple and clean. I think that's okay. You see where the Gragas is going to go, and then you just adjust accordingly. But the additional layer of it, of course, is I think Gragas' first pick is just so damn strong. I think after the first day, everybody learned that, Gragas needs to be either one of your bans, or you need to have like a concrete plan against it. Even the teams that didn't perform so well on Gragas decided to just ban it themselves the next day because they didn't perform well on it, right? These are some adjustments they could make in the first game. Another layer of it, right, is that no, I think this is inherently okay. I think just probably Rakan on 3, Victor on 4, and then 5 pick just top that is melee and has synergy with Sejuani. Then I think the game will be a lot easier to play. We continue to this game. SK, Vi first pick. I think that SK did very, very good snipe bans here with the Zaya out, the Aurelion Sol out. I think that's these bans are very good against FNATIC, it seems like. I think you deny and you kind of invite the next layer. And then FNATIC followed the same pattern here, Zeri, Sejuani, Heimerdinger. I don't mind this Heimerdinger as much because you're picking it specifically into trash, and I think you're giving your Zeri a good matchup, so I think this is something that you can work with a lot more. So I don't think this is like horrible, right? The other question would be if the moment you see Vi, if you want to be the one picking Aphelios yourself and then counter picking support on 3, that could also be a move, right? But it's been a while since I saw Reckless play Aphelios, so that's of course a question that is in the back of my mind. But Zeri is very strong on the patch, so I really don't mind this. I don't think it's bad. Like Zeri is very, very strong on the patch. We see a lot of teams globally just 1-2ing Zeri. I think that's perfectly fine. Zeri Heimer is quite the weird pairing. Not if you keep the enemy champions in mind, right? Heimerdinger picked here on 3 is very good into what the enemy is showing, right? It's very good into what the enemy is showing. It's like Heimerdinger is good against 3 of the champs that are picked. So even though Heimerdinger Zeri we don't care too much about the pairing. It's more about the fact that they play well into the enemy champions, you know. So they went Gragas, Gnar, and the 4th pick Azir. Like, this is, you know, very common line of thinking. Once again, just pick the mage and then 5 pick top. I think this is fine. You know, this is fine. I don't think this game necessarily the draft was the issue. I think if anything, you could consider to be a little bit more, I guess, trying to think if there's a better way to ban 4-5. Yeah, I think this game, at least Fnatic's draft is like it makes sense, you know. The 5 pick top. I think GP is very strong against the likes of Talia, Thresh, Aphelios, but I think the issue with GP, it's like GP's early game has gotten a lot worse, and in the past when you played this matchup with GP into Renekton, it was you could build an advantage level 1, 2, 3. And with that in mind, I think the enemy team having the Vi and the Talia and the Renekton, it's so easy to create scenarios where you can get dove. It's like your thought process if you're playing GP this game is like all of your runes need to be revolving around survival. They need to be around like, yo, I'm here to ult the enemy team and to not completely run it down. But it's one of those things that you need to play level 1, 2, 3 so insanely well. I can't even imagine a circumstance where you can build the lead anymore with GP. It's not something that I'm super confident in saying, but I think Renekton is going to have full control over the entire lane phase. And then it comes down to what your teammates can and cannot do. In my mind, at least. But yeah, once again, it's like Sejuani. It's like Sejuani inherently, I think, is a decent champ. And is it time to boot Fnatic's head coach? No, no way. Like, bro, they just fired the head coach. It's like, they can't just fire a head coach. It's like they're not giving anyone a chance to breathe, you know? But yeah, it's like Sejuani here together without Rakan and not 4-5 picking is rough, you know? I think that's important to keep in mind. It's like the head coach of Fnatic has been thrown into a very hard situation. Insanely hard situation. I would be very crazy to say that I can come into that team now and solve all of their issues. I think the main thing is that they need to figure out ways to consolidate and to survive and build a better future. Thank you very much for the raid, Anthem. I appreciate it. I hope your solo queue has gone well. And then finally, this is a draft that has been talked about so much. Like to keep it simple, right? I think they should have first picked Gragas. I think if they first pick Gragas and then enemy picks Xayah, then you can begin to pick, like, let's say you have Gragas and then you have you can pick Zeri and you can play the game, right? But they first pick Ashe, the enemy goes Gragas, Xayah, and you pick two champions that or like specifically like Vi just ruins the whole draft. It's like picking Vi here into Xayah Gragas is just so losing. It is so terrible. Why? Because you are a very close quarters champion that is very ult reliant, and you already have two targets that you can't really ult realistically. So from the get-go, it's just really bad. I think that Ellis had some good ideas in terms of how to solve this. Like the Corki on 4, I'm a strong believer in. I think the Corki on 4 makes sense, because at least you have a champion that is going to be able to play in outside of the enemy's range pocket and poke. But of course, I think the other artillery mages, the issue that they have is that they get really pressured by Azir, because they don't have ways to escape the Azir shuffle combo, and then the enemy needs to be able to survive if Rakan and Gragas press their buttons on you. And that is what's so unique about Corki, is the fact that he's a poke champion that has, of course, Valkyrie. But of course, Corki also has been nerfed here and there, so it's not like he's like that turbo as he used to be, but it is one way to make this draft a little bit better. I think LB kind of fits that same kind of thought process, because LB inherently is a poke champion that is very hard to engage on. So I understand the line of logic to pick LB here, but I think the issue is 4-5 is very hard to find champions that are good. So that's like the main issue. I think if anything here, maybe imagine a world where they pick Ashe, Vi, Talia 1, 2, 3, and then the enemy needs to choose if they want to pick Rakan on 3 or not, and then you can ban champions that could be strong into the Vi Talia combo, and then all of a sudden you have a Ashe flex and you can kind of play around with the ideas here, right? That would look a lot better in my mind. I think if they first picked Gragas, that would have looked a lot better too. I think, you know, if you have Ashe, like imagine a world where they go Ashe, and then they go Talia, Vi, and then let's say 4-5, you have options of going, you know, many good synergies together with Ashe that could potentially pressure the Xayah Rakan in lane if the enemy decides to blind that. It's like you could even go so far to maybe play like Ashe Zyra or Ashe Seraphine. I think the Seraphine angle is interesting. But the main thing, right, is you can't stray too far away from trying to counter the enemy team thematically. And I think you need to make sure that the lanes are really, really good. Guys, the conversation around FNATIC's coach, like, I will not stand for this, right? It's like, how can you judge him or criticize him at all? He was thrown into a very difficult situation. You can't rate or judge him at all. It's like, even in the context of Crusher, right? Even in the context of Crusher, it's like, I heard the internal feedback about him, right? So maybe it's a little bit different, but the main thing is, like, he was there for 2 months. It's like, how can you judge him at all, right? I think it was just like one of those cases where too many relationships were already broken, right? So, all in all, like, it's like, you could send in the best fucking coach in the world and you're not going to be able to, like, solve anything, you know, drastic right away. These things take time, you know, building a functioning culture and foundation is something that takes time. In the end, the players need to play the game. And the impact that I can have as a coach starts from day one, and how you're set up to succeed with the situations that you are facing. But this roster has a lot of deep wounds from the past, so you need to work backwards. Yeah? Send CV Max. It's not like Kwangdu Freaks is like the best team on the planet, right? But anyhow, I think just Vi limits them so much. Are you exploring options right now? Yeah, I'm always paying attention. I'm always paying attention. I've declined many offers for the LEC already this year. It is what it is, you know. Like I'm having a good time doing content, so I am not. I'm taking it easy, you know. Yeah, Vi is just terrible here. Like the only acceptable, like I could see the only acceptable Vi angle would be if like you go Ashe, Vi, Talia, if that's your plan 1, 2, 3. That's like the only angle I see. And then you have like, let's say the composition was Ashe, Vi, Talia, and then 4-5, you go like Seraphine, Renekton. That could be like, oh, okay. Something like that, but picking Vi is just trash, right? Picking Vi is just trash. But nevertheless, let's look at the gameplay, okay? Let's look at the gameplay. The gameplay is king in the end.
Strong pick because in a lot of
Oh, there he is.
with some of the changes in the AD carry position.
Okay. So first game. First game, at least FNATIC, they managed to create a circumstance where they dove bot, right? It's like they were, they pushed in 2 waves into hitting the neutral. Gragas is pathing into top, Sejuani is pathing into bot. We continue. This. So in this circumstance, right, Talia has prio, they're going into the bot dive. I have to say, Limit couldn't have played it worse. Like, look at how Limit plays it, okay? Limit coming back after a long hiatus, you know, I'm not gonna judge him too hard off of this, but it's very hard to play this worse. The dive didn't even start, and my man's fucking flashing and fucking also stunning, you know? The dive hasn't even started, okay? It's like, there is a world here where Victor TPs because the mid lane wave is neutral, and then, you know, this dive goes to shit if they use their summoners and spells appropriately. It's not like... It's just, yeah, like, Limit couldn't have played it worse. I'm not gonna lie. But it worked out fine in the end. It worked out fine. Like, imagine a circumstance where they posture for this dive, Victor TPs, and then they back off and all is good. You know, that's still value, right? So I still think this general play here is good. And once again, it's like humanoid push 3 and he gets a cheater base in. You know, this is really fucking good from Marek Brazdolini. He missed 1 CS, right? He's 18 out of 19. He crashed the cannon and he's basing and he creates a circumstance here where Victor's slow pushing out and he has a base advantage. You know, this is well played by Humanoid, right? And then he hard pushes, he uses Dematerialize on the wave, and then he crosses into bottom side, right? He's doing super well here. So it's like small details that matter. Okay, they get a kill. Talia gets a kill. She goes back mid to catch. Victor TP'd. You know, she doesn't need to base because she has the tier. That's cool. That's cool. Sejuani goes into top side. I don't know what the top situation is, but he looks kind of healthy right now. Oscarinin, like Odoamne mana is pretty low. Oscarinin looks good here. Sejuani doesn't need to support him. They have full vision from before when they cross into the enemy side. FNATIC cancelled scrims today. Smile. Really? Holy shit. Everything's on fire, maybe. Decided to wait until the start time before letting us know. Ha. Thank you for sharing, Mitch. Thank you for sharing. That's rough, Mitch. I love you, Mitch. It was good to see you this weekend, man. Lots of love for you, man. Mitch is fucking repping the SK squad. He built the beautiful juicer. Okay, so here, once again, you know, this looks like a very good adaptation here. It's like Sejuani does Golem Raptor respawn into dodging the vision around topside into posturing for the top dive. You know, this still looks like FNATIC is playing well, you know? It's like nothing so far is like egregious. Maybe if I look at the pro view, I can find something crazy, but so far, you know, so far so good. They have full information about what Annie and Gragas is doing on bot side, and that's it. Now Skorinin is pushing in the wave. Odoamne is in bad conditions here, but then yeah, this kind of sucks ass. Username entered. Thank you very much. Oof. Yeah, the timing on this dive is disgusting because this is just a free kill, right? The timing here, I think Oscarinin is like split between taking the cannon or like walking for the dive, because Razork is going the moment the wave crashes, right? And Oscarinin wants to take the cannon, so he's like split between decisions. I mean, he just shouldn't start with R. He can start with R. This is a ghost Kesante. He can definitely start with R. But I think Ivan's idea here is correct, because you don't want to be in a position where Odoamne potentially gets more XP and he gets 6. You should 100% start with Nar R here. Nar R into W, into spells of Seju, jump out with Nar and he's dead, you know? It's just that this is a very terrible miss, you know? Yeah, like Wing the wave is kind of iffy, yes. No, W is a lot more dodgeable than W is a lot more dodgeable than R. It's like he just fucking whiffed, right? He missed him. He just straight up missed him. Like Odoamne is dead here, you know? He's dead. Yeah, Oriana's fine, but you keep asking this Eco 11. Like, Oriana's fine, Javan is strong. Like, what should I say? It's like these champions are okay. It's like Oriana's fantastic into, you can play it into Talia. You can play it into Annie. You know, it's like, it's good. You know, it's fine, yeah. Because it's like, you do this top dive, and the enemy team is getting Drake off of this. So Nara is getting 0 leads, Sejuani threw away his leads, and it's just a really, really bad trade-off, because the enemy gets Drake, right? That was your decision. If you could kill Kesante here, maybe Nara is going to convert that into something meaningful, and then, you know, this Drake might have some kind of payoff. But here instead, imagine a situation where Sejuani actually contests into bottom side, and he doesn't show top, and they're contesting river. Then, of course, they can contest the situation, and they could potentially be stronger, because Annie has no flash. It's like, and then this happened. Like, this is just what we saw. This is just what we saw, like all split long, right? When people didn't know how Kesante worked. So Odoamne just queuing him, and then it's like he ults him, and then he gets a Q, and then of course he has the Q again, and he just finds lethal without Oscarine and Burning Flash. And this death is so horrible because it's right after a TP back, which makes this even worse, right? So Oscarine's mistake so far was, of course, the top dive situation, because he had decent conditions here against the Kesante to dive. And then the dive whiffed, and then here he gets just Q3'd into a miss, like not seeing the lethal. Flash for sure saves him, guys, because he's Ninja Tabi into Kesante. Like, he for sure lives with Flash, but it's already like bad, because the wave is going to be stacking, he's going to lose HP under the turret, you know, and so forth, but at least Kesante already ulted, right? Can't believe Fnatic cancelled last minute. That's rough. That's like a very bad omen. Why rush Tabis? Well, it's like move speed is a very good stat for Nar, because he just needs to keep himself out of distance. It's like here we just have a standard base timer, limit comes into lane, and then Odoamne just has a big advantage top. Like Oscarine died without having any money to base, and now Oscarine is like pushing out. I think here, maybe if they just, it's like here, like why don't they just fucking pull the trigger, you know? It's like, what is Viteo doing here? It's like, they just need to like snap at him, you know, if they want to break this play. But instead they're like giga hesitating. I don't know what's happening here. And then, because imagine they just are like, Victor needs to flash, and then at least they gain something. But also XL here is playing super strange. It's like, I don't know why Odoamne is like abandoning right now. It's like Odoamne is piecing out, Zerx is piecing out. It's like Fnatic have a window to attack the Victor because he's not connected, and even though it's 3v4, they can create something, maybe burn Victor flash. But what happens is, it's like here, if this fight extends, like Kesante and Gragas should just fucking snap and go, and they should pull the Rift Herald to the Bushy Bush. So it's like the fact that Odoamne and Zerx kind of like fucking abandon XL is very awkward. It's like the fact that they lose the Herald here is nuts. It's like here to me, XL is like super winning. Right, but okay. They get the reset going. Odamne catches the wave, and after the patch 13.4, I believe they brought back the Rift Herald resetting. Now Victor's on mid. There's no Sejuani ult. FNATIC can't really pull this. They can't. So this is a very, very awkward situation for everyone. So just to keep it short, XL should have just pulled the Herald into the bush. While Victor is connecting, he needs to take the longer route so he doesn't get caught in between. And then they should just hit it together, and then they should pull it out the pixel. If the enemy tries to contest, you just collapse and you just E-flash with Gragas and you kill whoever comes first. And FNATIC had a small window to break Victor's ankles because he took the wrong pathing. He should have connected through here, right? So it's like two fair points of criticism here for both teams. And then it's like here, the awkward thing is, it's like Xayah commits all the way, and she's now on mid-wave, and Zeri is also on mid-wave, and then they get this Rift Herald deleted. And then Xayah rotated mid without gaining anything. But at least she gets to start to push bot, and FNATIC is taking over bottom side. This is, of course, a very natural progression. Now, I think Gragas needs to just base and re-enter bottom side. I think... okay, he just starts doing crap instead of basing. But I think FNATIC don't know. They don't know where Gragas is. They're assuming he's basing, so they're not diving. But at least they gained something, right? They took some camps bottom side. They gained a bit of a lead. Patrick lost some waves. It's not like the worst thing. I think here Vitality Victor should not go Road of Ages. I think it's terrible in this game. I don't think there's any threat on him. I think that he needs to go Liandry's this game. A lot of big HP targets. I think you're playing a game of you know, front to back DPM. You know, you just need to do damage. Road of Ages HP, you can't leverage that at all. The enemy doesn't have that much of a threat on you, so I think you don't need Road of Ages. Okay. So yeah, XL is just showing on the mid wave. And Razork is in an angle. They find a little combo here on limit. But does he die here? He dies. Okay. Yeah, this is just XL being a little bit awkward, right? It's like the nature of how they set up for this play here is so stiff, you know? It's like the main issue for them, right, is that they have a composition that doesn't have an easy time of finding prio anyhow. But, you know, the main issue for them, right, 2v2 bot, they hard lose because you have a Xayah with Gale Force into Zeri, right? And Hammering is on 6. They spot Hammering in the bot side river, but he can easily collapse onto mid because it's a cannon wave. And Seju is already in bot side, right? So here, it's like XL can't find a really effective way of placing their Herald besides maybe placing it on top. Because in my mind here, they just lose 3v3 because of limit being not level 6. I think it's just not an easy situation for XL to gain value, but the way they played this was just very awkward. So I tried to burst Humanoid, who's sitting on Mercs against this team. You know, they are 3 magic damage dealers. He's quite bulky, and they get the bonk, but you know, it's not an elegant play at all. I think they need to, if they want to get a valuable Rift Herald going, they need to like play defensive and defend their bot side jungle, and then if they have an angle where the enemy bases, maybe they can place the Rift Herald. But this was fine from FNATIC, you know. Recognize that they're stronger, hammering a 6, they punish XL's mistake. Yeah, good move here from Viteo. Gragas is defending the bot side play, so good move here. They spotted that Talia is crossing into bot side and he's just going for the play. Good situation. Odamne was stacking waves. Would you go back to FNATIC if they asked you? I've already answered this a million times, so... I have two extreme conditions that I don't think they can ever meet, so... And, yeah, that's it. Yeah, I think at this point they were already achieving exactly what they wanted, right? They already were achieving exactly what they wanted. I think that the way Excel has built up the map, I think it's fairly obvious that Gragas is into bottom side. I think that they should have just played this a little bit slower and they would have gotten a lot of value. If they played this a little bit slower, it would have been great, right? It would have been fantastic, no problem at all. Oscarin is going to TP back top. Imagine a world where Talia just hits mid and gets platings mid. They already know that Gragas is going to be into bottom side. And the issue that Excel are facing there is that they have no realistic way of breaking FNATIC's play because they're just hitting the turret and Xayah is too big of an advantage. And maybe they can do something where they like stun the fucking Xayah, but this Annie has no flash because she flashed on mid, right? She flashed on mid for no fucking reason. So in a situation here with FNATIC, just take the time and wait. They just need to keep hitting this turret and chipping away at this turret. They don't need to rush. They're gaining so much. They have a cannon minion tanking this. They could have hit mid, get platings mid, and they could hover in fog when the wave dies, and they could have just played this slow. And this game was, the situation was turbo winning. Instead they dive and fucking Odamne goes on a rampage. Limit ends. Another great game from Limits, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, they didn't need to pull the trigger at all with Seju. I think it's just bad. They can just wait. So we look at this again. It's like, imagine they just wait. They just wait. I'll just change the title. Still here, like the conditions of Xayah is really insane. They managed to get a Drake. Like here, the situation is perfectly fine. I think the itemization of Victor is going to hurt them in the long run too. So it's like, it's not the end of days here. It's like here, you know, FNATIC are following the basics well. Like they are pushing mid and then crossing into bottom side, taking over river, hovering in case someone is, you know, going to be on the bot wave. Now Talia has enough information to push the deeper wave, and they know that the enemy is into top side because they spotted them on vision. You know, this is very good standard play, you know. And it's like after this, you can consider if Talia needs to hover into mid because he's not accomplishing anything. I think here you could argue that there's a situation where Talia can base and they retake top side, but she's staying on bot, kind of long. I think he's just basing for Liandry's. Maybe he's staying to push one more wave. Because the issue here is that Veteo actually has TP while he's catching these bot waves and Humanoid doesn't. He doesn't have ult, doesn't have flash. Maybe this is the reasoning. He just wants to keep farming, get Liandry's. Maybe this is the thought process of just giving up Herald. This could be the thought process. Yo, Cosmo, could you do me a favor? Could you change the command for podcast for to the latest podcast, which is with Mac? Thank you very much. Thank you. What do you think is better, Team Heretics or XL? Is he out there asking impossible questions, my friend? So now Leandre is finished, Mythic is finished on Sejuani. I think it's perfectly fair to not want to fight in this moment in time, because if you look at the comparison between the items, it's like there's no item finished on Seju, no item finished on Talia, no item finished on Nar, so it makes sense that they don't want to like retake topside because they feel that they are much weaker here, right? So that's why Talia just stayed bottom, pushed the wave deeper, and then when they base, they're going to retake topside. So Excel just doing the usual thing of placing the heralds on mid. Here is a trade-off when they're giving mid tower. FNATIC is getting both side waves pushed in, which of course matters for Drake. Oscarinin doesn't have TP, but neither does Odoamne. So it's like an even trade on top side. Oscarinin is trying to find gold for Trinity. The TP cooldowns are matched. Talia is now opening on mid. I think here though, what you can consider as a play for FNATIC is that they let Talia catch mid and she can always limp into the fights. And then what you can do with high midding Isaiah Seju is already be in the space of Drake, right? But this is not an easy decision to make, right? Because you could be in a situation where, you know, if the enemy doesn't see on the turret, they will just walk in and they could of course outnumber with Zeri coming. So it's kind of dangerous what I'm suggesting. Here with this Rift Herald play though, Excel is going to be first on the space and Humanoid is now entering. A good thing about Zeri is that your team can contest river space and throw spells on the enemy. And then Zeri can just jump over walls and join the fight. Let's see how the situation plays out. Oscarinin is still no mythic, so he's rather weak coming into this one. A big benefit here is, of course, that Excel, like this third Drake is very tanky, right? I think here something that Excel can improve is that I think they could be a lot more creative in terms of hide the position. Because I think Limit could be, for example, here, and he could play in a way where he doesn't show, and then they could pull the Drake downwards if the enemy wants to look to contest, and they could find more ways to push her towards this fight to make this position a lot more awkward for FNATIC. Yeah, I think using Seju like that is not the way. I think another thing that you could add is Talia, like you should time the engage together with the Talia wall that kind of makes the enemy cut off, you know? You could create a circumstance where Talia wall gets actually like a lot of value here if your goal is to pull the trigger. You think contesting it is necessary? I don't think it's that bad, honestly. I don't think it's that bad. Yeah, I just don't think it's like your Seju ult needs to be followed up by a Talia combo into spells of Zaya. Like the Seju ult needs to really be convincing in order for you to win. If Excel played it appropriately, I feel like if Excel pulled the Drake downwards and Limit was in this pocket, then the enemy would have a very hard time pushing forward. Because FNATIC are like funneling themselves in here, right? So it's like Excel could play this in a way where it would be so much harder for FNATIC to actually enter. It would be like unplayable for them if they play correct. Because like, imagine a world where this is your positioning and Limit's instinct is to Tibbers Seju here. I think Limit had a very poor game, I'm not gonna lie. So his instinct here is to ult the Seju when these guys are all piled up. That's like a very poor instinct to have. Another layer here, right, is like Oscarinin is walking into this situation with no rage at all. Like he just goes mega and then he has cooldown, so he can't even hit the wave to get. I wonder if Sergio Cube is pushing the Gragas out of the Talia combo. I think it is. Yeah. Yeah. This is Victor is the tankiest player on the Rift, by the way. I'm just looking at each player now throughout the fight. So it's like I'm looking at Talia. I feel like Talia should just walled, right? Just find a way to wall and coordinate together with Sejuani's timing, just to cut them off, right? That's an improvement. And then I'm gonna look at Zaya now. What does Zaya do? What does Zaya do? I don't know. It's like the engage is so fucking awkward. Like it's like this Gragas barrel is just fucking Zaya up. Yeah, Zaya ulted nothing. Good to see you, Keijo. What does Adrien do? Yeah, this ult is kinda clapped. Bro, honestly, this game is so fucking low quality, it's insane. I'm like spotting mistakes every time I rewind. I think it's like even from Excel's side. Thank you very much, Big Jeff, for the gift of sub to Kedro. Now I can spam my emotes. What a blessing for him. Wait, why did we get the Santander Gale Force now? Notification 19 minutes into the game. the production is like, yo, we have to do this because they're paying us for this ad slot. So let's just show it. It's an attempt. I don't think this is like the worst thing ever, what Razor is doing here. It's definitely an attempt, you know? He dies if this hits. Yeah, it's like them being even at this point definitely makes the game a lot harder to play, you know? It's like we already talked about how many improvements they could do to draft, but it's like their saving grace is the fact that this Victor is itemizing the way he is. And maybe in like front-to-back races, Talia can outvalue the Victor. And that Zaya's ahead. But Reckless has this thing where he's refusing to play with Cleanse. It's like he needs to be scared out of his ass for Annie to just flash on him and ult him. And yet at this point, FNATIC is very strong. Like this next Drake, definitely they should be winning. It's like Zeri's not on 2 core. Here I don't know what Humanoid's doing. I think here Humanoid lost his mind. This was very bad. Like this was very bad, plain and simple. It's like Victor already cleared the wave, and what you want to do here is just press B. Everyone should just press B, right? And then open up on bot side. You already accomplished what you wanted to accomplish top, and if Victor wants to stay until the next wave, then I think you can just send Nar to catch that. At least Gragas use flash, right? For Talia flash, so it's like, that's okay. That's going to matter, right? Gragas flash is a really big deal. I think Nar needed the base earlier, so he could be on the top wave already pushing. And then you would be in a position where you actually get like mega. Because it's like... So look at Sedgewood again. Bro, Razor hates Xerxes or something. That he hates him. He's ulting him every time he's on the screen. Every time he's on the screen, he ults. So basically, the main issue for FNATIC, if they're trying to contest the mid-wave, they'll always be losing. Because the enemy team just has better tools to play around the mid-wave. So it's like, in my mind, you need to find ways to contest into the Drake pit by limping in with Talia and being in the position before with the rest of your players. So if the enemy is on the mid-wave and they're pushing on the mid-wave, that you are in position first and that you can collapse with Talia ult if that's necessary. But the issue is when they are standing on the mid-wave, they don't actually have any threat or pressure on these champions. They don't have enough tools to pressure them at all, right? Their champs are just too weak in this context. The only way they can potentially get value is if they are first somewhere and the enemy phase checks into them and they can like throw their spells and burn something. But the only real tool they have is the Sejuani ult. And Patrick has Cleanse and Viteo is the tankiest person in the game next to Kesante. Thoughts of Mickey being the dick of G2? Last split he was fully erect, that's for sure. What does Patrick do here? I'm just watching Patrick. Mom. He just walked into the feathers, okay. Ugh. Oscarinian actually just goes mega because he queued the Gragas. It's just so hard because it's like the problems of the comp is really showing through here. Okay, we have some nice feathers placed. I don't know. Reckless's position looks so strange here. He needs to play here in this pocket, I think. Play in this pocket, hit the Drake. the enemy tries to pressure your Talia, you're actually hitting and making use of your champ. But mine's in the back of the pit. Sejuani also has Q here. Like no one. I think. Oh, it's odd. I don't think these two are actually overstepping. You think they're overstepping right now? It's like FNATIC are just not really reacting when they are crossing in my mind. Yeah, I think Zaya's position is just so fucking awkward. And second inherently, if you, it's like playing Annie with heal against Annie with heal. Ish. This was a very ugly sequence, I think. I think if Zaya plays in this pocket here, and when the enemy tries to cross through here to engage on your Talia, I think that you can easily fight. Then obviously this was super ugly too. It's like... Yeah, Razuk Sejuani ults have been very poor. It's like the weight of the Seju ult needs to be so much heavier. Yeah, the issue now is always like I still have the better comp to position on the neutrals, and FNATIC don't have the champions to actually win side and to collapse into river first. They just don't have the champs for it. All the agency is in Excel's hands. They have to limp into every objective and face check into the enemy team. Wait, what happened to Oscarina? I didn't even see. Oh shit, this one. Shit. Yeah, FNATIC and this, like, with their comp, they kind of have to hope that the enemy fucks up. It's like they have only one way to really play it, and that is to contest through mid, but the enemy just have better champions to contest through mid. So it's like, you need to be like playing really wonky, like trapping the enemy team, and it's just really, really hard, honestly. That was just a pick, not his fault. What do you mean? It's like, guys, I think you're overcomplicating things and oversimplifying some other things. It's not like you just do some team building. It's like some players are also just inherently like performing bad, and it's like when you have players that are performing bad, your identity in draft also becomes even worse, and it's just a lot of issues become like just amplified. So when you bring a rookie into the LEC, you hope that you can put him in a position where he can just focus on one thing, you know? Sucks. Yeah, this game is lost. Oh, Oscarinin is performing horribly. But when you bring a rookie into the LEC, you hope to create a circumstance where he can focus on only like playing the game, but he has to deal with the pain of the past and the pressures of everything being new. It's like, imagine the circumstance of Yike coming into a team with like players like Mickey, Hansama, and you know, Caps. He's just set up to succeed, you know, in many shapes or forms. Yeah. And of course, they are very different players. Yike is fantastic, and Yike is doing super well, and a lot of it is on, you know, the individual player also needs to perform well, but you know, there are a lot of elements to that too. It's like the first games that Yike played, he was allowed to make a couple of mistakes, and he could shake that off quickly because he had the support of his team, you know. But also, of course, I think inherently as players, just in ERLs as well, Yike was fucking amazing. And Oscarino was fine, you know, Oscarino is decent, you know. Just... I don't want to actually get a secret boardroom now. Yeah, but Moody Mind, yeah, he was decent, and he had some good games in the LVP. It's like, did you watch his games in the LVP, Moody Mind, or you're just talking out of your ass? So I'm talking about him having decent games in the LVP. I said that very fucking clearly. But of course, you want to misinterpret that and talk some shit. Yeah, you're talking about the LEC. You're talking to Air or what? Yeah, this game also, it's like it started off fine. It's like they have Heimerdinger at least into trash, right? And you know, it comes down to the same thing as always. It's like you build this composition. You build this composition that at least here they have Zeri, so they can position on on the enemy, like on the objective first and join later with Zeri. So at least there's that element when the enemy wants to push her, you know. But they have Vi, so they can maybe engage on the Zeri. But like this draft didn't look horrible, you know. Main thing though, it's like usually when you pick Seju, you are kind of you want to build your comp around synergies with Seju. It's like you just don't have synergy with Seju, right? But I don't think it's like the worst thing. It's like still Seju is pretty decent on the patch. I don't think Seju is like weak or useless, you know? I hear the fact that they spotted Markoon and Azir puts himself in a very bad spot is very awkward. I think Humanoid just felt a lot more comfortable about Sejuani being here. But Renekton collapsed and then everything became super awkward. And now Razuk has no Q. Yeah, this situation is so awkward too. It's like there's a circumstance like this whole sequence ruins so much. It ruins the GP position. I think the Seju, like in this particular game, Seju not having synergies is not like that big of an issue. Because in isolation, Seju is good against Vi. It's just a champion that can be active early game. I think that's perfectly fine. I think the previous game, it was a lot more egregious because they could set up a case where they last pick top and they could actually set up a case where they pick Rakan on 3 and that would have been a lot better. But this game is not that bad. I think this game perfectly fine to slam Heimerdinger into Aphelios, Vi, and Thresh showing. I think Heimerdinger is perfectly fine there. Yeah, GP is just kind of fucked here. The GP is in a shithole. It's like Renekton stacked waves and then he crashed and then they took control of a river and they pushed Sejuani out. Like Irrelevant played the sequence so good. Maokai has been nerfed. That's it. This is a little cheeky, neat play here. I don't know why Advin's sitting on 2 pink wards, but it's like whoever put this pink here, it's like a little. It's like Reckless puts this pink here, which is pretty neat play here. It's like it's a pretty cool play. He puts the pink over the wall and denies the vision, and then Sejuani can enter here for the gank when Aphelios and Thresh want to push her for the wave. Obviously, a Thresh can play Lantern, like he's playing too far forwards, and you know, you can just play Lantern. They should know already that Seju path into top base. He is in bottom side. They need to just play Lantern and they can just steal the way with the Aphelios. Imagine Aphelios just autos this once more Qs and then Qs again with Purple Gun and they Lantern out. Everything is fine. There's no play, right? I didn't even realize that this play continued somehow. It's just here, like this is the issue with GP in a lot of cases. It's like if you can't find a rhythm where you can control the waves and stack waves and crash them, then you're in deep shit. Like here, Renekton pushed the wave all the way in for GP, and GP needs to like turbo hard slow push. I don't know what's going on right here because I don't see the pro view, right? But I feel like GP should be able to hold the wave there for one more wave in that position. And then basically he needs to hard shove this one even with Renekton in the wave, and then hopefully the wave is big enough that it doesn't matter if Renekton freezes. And then Renekton GP TP's back and Renekton is frozen without base, and then you place a ward for yourself, and then with the item advantage you can make it crash. That is like how it should go, but somehow this wave position is here. It's like here, if this is your wave position, you just fucking base and TP back. Of course I think Riot should bring back Pro View, but they said that it's not financially viable, so... Yeah, those are just in things straight up. I think that the int as well is the fact that they just don't press B. I think they should just press B. I don't know why they stay. It's so bad for them to stay. Yeah, now at this point, right? It's like Oscarina is TP back. Renekton gets killed. He's gonna have 6 first. The wave is still frozen. Like he needed to just... No, Oscar didn't do fine here. Like he needed to... Like, I don't see the pro view, right? But he needs to basically slow push the wave as heavy as fucking possible and then recognize when the wave is going to cross a position that is no longer viable for him to push her forward towards, that he hard shoves that wave, and then the wave is big enough for the Renekton to feel very awkward about freezing. If he freezes, you base TP back. If he doesn't freeze, he catches and it's good. Basically, it's like you hit the wave as little as possible, and then you need to recognize the wave that is going to be the wave where you cross the river point and you need to hard shove that wave with your spells and ignore Renekton completely and then base TP back no matter what. If the wave crashes, you can probably save TP and then you just need to defend the slow push. But with the wave, how it played out is terrible. Yeah, still, like SK, the fact that it didn't base this entire time, like I don't know, like we got replay and then now they haven't based. It's just horrible. Really bad. It's like SK really griefs it, this game bot, not gonna lie. With the first initial play, the follow-up, not basing there, a lot of elements. It's like after what happened to Oscarinin, right? It's like he has no flash and the wave position is like this. He can't secure himself anymore. Because if he contests the wave, he can die to gank. If he lets the wave stack, he's gonna die to dive. So it's like, you guys remember the situation with Zeus playing Jace. Like if the enemy team wants to kill him, they will kill him. Sejuani showing on bot, right, to make this play happen. And it's like, sure, this is a moment where Oscarinin is not in danger. So he can make some more educated choices here, right? And with this wave position, maybe he can push it forward a little bit back. He can maybe drop a ward and tri-bush, and he can make it more difficult for the enemy. But, you know, he can also, like, he will then let the wave stack into him, and then when the wave is stacking into him, maybe Seju can base and defend him. That would be a lot better, right? Dying here is pretty fucking bad. I'm just saying that if he doesn't contest that, the enemy's gonna stack the wave, and they need to, of course, fucking... I don't think Exakid has some sussy games. I think this barely has to do with Exakid as well. I think DOS is kind of griefing it. And now it's a lot worse, right? Seju could have potentially based and defended the dive while Renekton is stacking the wave, you know, and then that's okay. Yeah, Mitch is confirming DOS grief. I love it when people say, well, I am French too, and Exakid is French, so believe me when I say, because we share the nationality, you know that my criticism is in the right place. That's nice. I think DOS impressed me in the Rakan game that he played. I think DOS has had some really fucking good games. I think DOS should definitely be in the conversation of being one of the better supports in the region. But the competition is stiff, right? Very, very rough competition. Especially with the resurgence of Kaiser. I think Hilly and Mickey are undisputed top 2. I mean, like, they cross into mid. It's like the amount of pinks FNATIC is buying, but not placing is crazy. It's like, they're placing a lot of fucking pinks. Like, they have so many pinks on the map, but this pink is not really securing anything. The fact that they don't... The fact that they have 2 pinks placed, right? It's like this Tribush pink is so fucking greedy, I think. And I think one of them should, like, drop this pink to just help Azir here in this spot. Because he doesn't have a ward. Hilly, one of the worst supports of LEC? Well, I think you are full of shit. Oh, look at him, Hilly died. Like... You have really, really a low perception of the game. That's all. Wow. Mad Lions is down in the game and Hilly is doing some silly shit. Hilly solo lost Mad both games in the start of the split. Oh my god. Okay. That's fine. That's okay. It's bait. Alright, Marcoon, very good Q flash, but it doesn't matter. As there's no flash and they have ult. Holy Razak has been baking it. It's like this pink ward in Tribush. It's like I said that they can place a pink, you know, to set them up, but the fact that Aphelios and Thresh aren't like clearing this pink before crossing river is causing them so many issues. Of course, this is a very unique case where Sejuani, like Zeri can support the Sejuani and Tribush, but you need to be in the habit of, as Aphelios and Thresh, to clear your Tribush before there is a situation where you contest neutral waves on the mid part of the river. Talia is hovering to make sure that his homie doesn't get dove. There was no play there from the turret for them because Talia was hovering. Vi also took Herald during this sequence because of this big top cap. Healy for sure was the second best support in Europe last split. This was so sad, man. This was like... oh, it wasn't the moment. The next moment is what's sad. Thank you very much, Jerry Jackal. I think this moment was impressive from Dos and Extra Kick. It's like Dos is leveraging the fact that he doesn't show and Extra Kick gets to steal the wave on bot. And they spot Thresh so late, so there's no reaction on punishing Extra Kick. But this whole sequence is just so tragic. Now as the TPs, they find the combo on Seju. Oh, it's so fucking close. Yeah, Humanoid couldn't do this. Like, this was not allowed, by the way. It's like they already defended the play, and 1v2 bot, they should be able to chip away at Exakick's HP and win, right? It's like they already accomplished what they needed to accomplish, and they should just base under the turret, you know? He just wanted more, yeah. But it turned into an absolute disaster. Because imagine in a different world where they don't get anything more here, it's like Dos is paying a big price to participate here. This is like a very big price for Dos to play, to pay to be here in this moment. And if they clear that wave, you know, Oscarinin is, you know, they're comboing it, so he gets all the last hits. They did a good job. And then... now the game is completely over. Because it's like the bot dive as well happened. It's like it was a disaster altogether. And before that, even it's like the conditions of Oscarinin were like, you know, we're gonna get a replay right now. Issue is it's not so easy to pressure a blue weapon Aphelios on the turret. They just can't. What a disaster. Like, they want to leverage their 1v2, but It's like Exaki gets cleanse. So as long as if he gets direct hit by the nade, he's going to be, he can just cleanse it and he will always live. They just can't dive Aphelios. But it feels like absolute shit. It's like Trash is showing top and your team is getting aced. It's like there's just no play here. Like they need to dive him twice, right? They need to like use all of their spells, chunk into shit, and then dive him again on the next wave or something like this, you know? That's like the only way. Yeah, this is like, this is the deepest. This is like the most painful thing for Oscarinin. I'm trying to remember the sequence when it happens. Bye bye. Like here, this was like Oscarini's moment, you know? This is where he could have built some confidence, you know? This was his moment. This was so painful, dude. Oh, man. But why doesn't he E? Like, why doesn't he E? Just E. Oh, man. Like, he has an E walking up here. Like, he has the E. Just fucking place it right now here. Place the E here right now. And then it's like, you just have to tether yourself, right? You just have to back up now when he's pushing forward and you're going to be fine. And then you have the barrel here and then he's dead. I mean, no crit. It has nothing to do with crit. He's just had to barrel before. And then just because he's level 10, it's not going to tick down. And then he will have a barrel on top of himself. And then he has to back up if Renekton goes. And then he auto-attacks the barrel. And then he auto-attacks the barrel to get the move speed when Renekton has to walk away. But his spacing was just terrible here. Unlucky. Hammerdinger gets the money. And then it's like everyone is chasing this fucking Renekton and Zeri has to abandon bot and they lose a full turret. Only pain, guys. Only pain. No, it's like this is like a good job here from Oscarinin. It's so sad, dude. This could have been his moment. It's easy to flame Oscarinin, but do you think you could have done better? What does that have to do with anything? So it's like, no one can ever criticize the President of America because could you do better? Is that really like the point you want to make when we're doing commentary? It's really not the way. And honestly, I'm so fucking good. I would play better than all of these players. To be honest. But it's a terrible argument. Okay. Even now, it's like Oscarinin's condition isn't like the worst thing in the game. It's in fact like Humanoid's condition. It's like Humanoid. This was probably the roughest game for Humanoid. Very, very rough. He ran at this game for sure. Bro, if Plays TV just still existed, you guys would see my monster plays. This is weird from Irrelevant, but okay. But just FNATIC is just trading sides and they didn't spot the TP, so it's a bit awkward. They didn't spot the TP at all. That's all. This is one cheeky pink that it didn't spot. Yeah, everything they can do at this point in the game is just reactionary. They can only pray. Throwing Sage ults like this is fine if you want to look to like burn a couple of summoners, but the issue is just GP needs to... I don't know if it's correct for GP to not go into mid here to clear that mid wave. Because he's pushing, and here as well the wave is so far away, so I think Zeri should just be in fog here. She doesn't need to E. I think here it's kind of troll what Reckless is doing because there's no fight, so he should just hold his spell and be in fog and then catch the mid wave. Because if you look at the timing when the mid wave is in the turret, it's so far away from the bottom wave, and they could actually like set up a circumstance where they contest. The only issue though is that this is the situations that Vi is very good into Zeri, right? Because if Vi is in fog and they didn't have this ward, then Zeri could be pressured there too. But the whole idea is that it's easy to defend tier 2s because the entire time Sejuani and Hamidinger can just be in this area here that I'm highlighting to defend the bottom dive and to defend the mid dive. And that's what makes it harder to break these tier 2s. But FNATIC is showing 4 man on bot turret. They're just oinking here. They're just jerking each other off, you know? So they look for some type of engage, but they can just play Lantern, and DOS was in good position here. Let's see what else. This is definitely not Oscarina's worst game. The worst game was the Ornn game. The worst game was for sure the Ornn game. What can FNATIC do at this point? They can like defend the bushes and hope the enemy kind of fucks up while they're contesting mid wave same time and like throw some spells, poke, just delay the game pressure. The issue is though, it's like they need to be quicker at rotating into the tier 2s that's crashing, you know? They just need to let Humanoid catch this and then they need to hover for him and then just go back and forth, you know? But yeah, they're just losing chip damage. Now this is the moment to strike, right? Aphelios is showing on the neutral mid wave. So this is the moment for FNATIC to strike and strike hard. Like here, they want to push it forward. Go, 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 go. The Lantern, the Dead's Daughter, those dies, you know? So it's like, whenever Aphelios is showing on the mid wave, Talia cannot be showing on the top wave. That's how they have to play it. It's like, Aphelios right now, I think should not be on mid wave. Aphelios should be here in fog because the enemy is not defending top. When the enemy is defending top, then he should go on the mid wave. Because he needs to be in fog and they need to threaten dive. Because the enemy cannot contest the neutral mid wave. So here I think Exakick makes the mistake of going on the mid wave. Right? The only time you want to go on the mid wave is when you know that the enemy team rotated to defend. Then you can back off, and then you can contest the mid wave, and then you need to catch a mid wave, and then you repeat. So yeah, I think Exakick is just griefing. So it's like, imagine a situation here with Talia spotted here, and then you have 3 teammates here. It's very hard for the enemy to go. They have to commit 4 man into here, and then you go into this position. This was the lack of coordination here for SK. Yeah, FNATIC find a little opening. I don't know what takes, like here FNATIC, it takes them so fucking long to cross into bot again. Like I don't know, they are wasting so much time here. Like they killed Trash, now you need to re-enter bottom side, you need to rush there, and they are not helping their homie, you know, he just gets dove. So everything turns really valuable here for the homies. No, after they kill Trash, they need to rush into bot. They need to sprint, but they are clearing wards, so they are spotted on wards, and Oscarinin dies. Like, sure, you can give up, but then you give up your tier 2. And then, like, you are kind of just fucked in the game. Actually, this GP is so fucking strong. This GP has 3 items. Yeah, fucking Advien, he loves those rockets. He's fucking sponsored by NASA or what, man? He's fucking RWing every fucking time. He's just RWing on cooldown. That's a good stopwatch from humanoids. It's like here, GP. Like this is a very good GPU. This looks like, aesthetically, this doesn't look horrible. Doesn't look bad at all. Just that Oscarinin gets kind of lost in the sauce here, fighting with Renekton a bit too long, and then he dies. Why Heimer rocket ult? I really don't know, man. It's hard to keep fighting there because of Talia rocks. Yeah, Advien is not really having any presence with Heimerdinger after the lane phase. Heimerdinger does fall off in a lot of games though, so I'll give him that, but... Yeah, I think it's just after the top dive and so forth, they were on the back foot the entire game and SK pressured the waves good. So let's look at this final one. I think that I honestly have to say, it's like...
They just told me that we have an expert.
I have to say...
What's up?
I have to say, it's like...
Vitality is changing the LEC as you know it.
FNATIC need to be very happy. The FNATIC bot lane needs to be very happy that Oscarinin... that of course, it's like Oscarinin had such a horrible game that it kind of masked how bad the FNATIC bot lane was playing. So once again, it's like the draft, we talked about it endlessly, right? It's like picking Vi into Gragas Xayah is like, it's illegal, you know? It's like in this spot, just because Varus is banned, Caitlyn is banned, you should prioritize Gragas first pick 100% of the time. I think the good pairings that makes Ashe very dangerous are out already, so you should first pick Gragas and then 2-3 just match whatever the enemy picks bot. The enemy is gonna pick Xayah anyway. Every time they're gonna pick Xayah, they're gonna ignore Ashe because it's just better, and you get Gragas here as a big juicer. And then if you want to do something like this, at least it's like if you first pick Ashe in this context, I think you need to be ready to play it AD, or you need to be ready to play Seraphine, or you need to be ready to play like Ashe Zyra Ashe, Seraphine. You need to be able to play these lanes if you want to first pick Ashe here when Varus and Caitlyn's out of the picture. There's just not a lot of good pairings in terms of what we've seen. There could be a situation where they go like Ashe, Vi, Talia. That could be something, right? But just picking Vi into Xayah Gragas is just so rough, right? And then it's like, if you look at the 4-5s, I agree with the Elias proposition that you like pick Corki. I understand why they pick LB, because they need a champion that is not going to be completely fucked by Aussie pressure on mid, and they need a champion that can poke. So it's like Corki W is definitely something that can happen. LeBlanc is a champion that you have a hard time engaging on her and pressuring her, and she can poke. So that's like the idea, right? That's like the mentality. I was surprised by the Annie ban as well. Is Corki a champion at the moment? Like, he's definitely gotten nerfed, but it's like, that's how deep we are going. That's how deep we're going into 4-5, because their 1-2-3 is so hard. I think just first picking Gragas is the way. Like, imagine they first pick Gragas, enemy goes Xayah. You pick Zeri and you pick... let's see. You pick Zeri and you can like pick Zeri Rakan, or you can pick Zeri Lulu, and then the enemy needs to choose. Do they go Xayah Rakan, or they do something like this? It's like, just Vi into Gragas Xayah just makes it so difficult. Nevertheless, it's like they blind pick Ornn, which once again, I don't understand why would you want to play Ornn here. It's just, you're picking Ornn into 4 champions that are pretty good into Ornn. It's like, I don't see what the value is of Ornn. It's like you're just picking yourself like some buttons, but we are far away from the button meta. It's like, here you're picking Ornn into Mage showing, into Rakan, into Xayah, into Gragas. All of these champions are pretty damn good. Level 3 dive bot? Nah, man. What level 3 dive bot? You don't pick Vi to level 3 dive bot. That doesn't make any sense. It's just that first pick Gragas would have made this so much easier. That's it, right? The first pick Gragas is so damn strong, and then the enemy here can third pick support, and it's like in most cases, Zeri Ashe should be fucking strong against Xayah Rakan, right? And in this game, let me show you how it fucking played out, okay? We don't see it on screen. We don't see it on screen, but this matchup is really fucking hard for Xayah and Rakan. Really hard. Insanely hard, by the way. It's like if they go even, they've won. But instead we have the situation, it's like, I don't know how Oscarinin has lost so much HP already. I don't know what has happened. Well, this looks fine. Like, how on earth? Like, this looks good. How on earth did he die? How did he die? This looks good again. But he has potted, right? He doesn't. He already potted. So this we have to keep in mind. But it doesn't look like he's gonna die level 3. Now Photon pots up. They're contesting now for level 3 first. Oh, this was a horrible forward click. Ish. Here? This move? What the fuck is this move? Here you need to punch the minions and contest level 3. But he's not punching the minions. And Photon's minions are dying now for his level 3. And now Photon gets level 3? What do you mean I flamed you when I said he's terrible? I said he had some fine, he was decent in the LVP. And then you said, yeah, decent, he got solo killed every game. I flamed you for not listening and then talking out of your ass. Did I ever say Oscarinin played good in the LEC? No. So you're having a conversation with your own imagination. And now he's like, oh, look at that. And you flamed me. It's like, bro. Thank you very much, Fikara. I appreciate it. Thank you very much, Don Felix. Thank you very much for the primes, guys. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's like that press there that he got, and it's like there's such a big issue here because he clicked forward when he needed to punch the minions. He got level 3 last, so his conditions got worse. And then now he's slow pushing out because the wave, it was closer to the enemy side. The wave was closer to the enemy side, so he's slow pushing out with shittier conditions. And it legit comes down to, it's like, yeah, he just got outplayed and Photon's shattered his cornflakes. The wave is still slow pushing out, and now Photon's gonna have like fucking Sheen base. It's horrible. It's like here, right? Here, I don't know what the fuck is happening. But here, Reckless is here. Reckless has 3 potions. He has 3 potions, okay? And my man, I don't know what's going on because we don't see the camera pivot. But look, he's just dropping HP. He's dropping HP. Look at him drop HP. So Zaya has 3 potions into 2. And they're slow pushing out. He's getting queued. And then here, Reckless down 2 potions. What's going on with him? What's happening in the bot lane? What's happening in the bot lane right now? He has no potions. His potions disappeared. Did he spill them? Did he spill his potions? I want to know what happened. Watering the plants or something. Oh, what happened to his potions? What happened to his potions? Look, they are so fucked. How are they so fucked? I don't know. How are they so fucked? Playing Ashe, Zeri with Vi into bot. Vi is into bot. How did he get so fucked? I'm so curious. What happened? How are they so fisted? Oh my god. They're so fucked. Now their conditions are so shit. No 3 potions down. I don't know what Advian did. I don't know what Reckless did. I don't know what happened. I really don't know what happened. Ash. Razor taking this Tersha because of red, man. Oh my god. Such a fucking disaster, man. Holy shit. And then here, like once again, we don't know what happened. Here, Advian loses flash, he loses heal. I don't know what happened. You're playing Zeri Ashe into Zaya Rakan, and you're getting destroyed. Level 1, 2, 3. What happened? Hey Joe, what are you doing with those potions in your hand? Okay. Sfobo is here. Photon needs to base. His conditions are shite. Bro, if Photon doesn't base here, you gotta know. You just gotta know. You just have to know. You let him slow push into you here. For sure you let him slow push your wave into you. And now he's really, really in the dumpster. Let me see the flash now on bot, please. Someone said in the chat there's a replay. Where's the replay, brother? Where's the replay? Where's the replay, man? I want to see how did Adrian lose flash and heal? It was in the bottom left, really? Oh, okay. Let's zoom in here. Okay, thank you. Do you even have to flash here? Don't you just fucking hit the Rakan together? Like, you just hit the Rakan together, no? Just hit the Rakan together. Why is Ashe hitting Xayah? You're fighting in a big-ass wave. You're fighting in a big-ass wave. But also, it's like, you have so long range, so you should be able to tether your movement to Rakan. It's like Wing. It's like, Rakan is posturing towards you, so you need to back up and auto him, right? So it's just like mechanically bad. Guys, we don't care. Like, when you guys write, I think he's nervous. Like, what benefit does that give for us? Well, we're gonna like psychoanalyze them based off their gameplay. Like, we're looking at the gameplay, and that's it. It's like, yeah, this player is looking nervous, and I think he didn't take a shit this morning, so he's probably pressured by the fact that he ate burritos the last night, and that could be something, right? That could be an idea. It's like, we're gonna go into a really, really deep rabbit hole if we view things like that, you know? Oh! He needs to R so much quicker. If Oscarinin R's quicker, I think he's actually dead. Holy, Reckless is in Reckless Bush. This is so terrible. They burn every juicer in the game. They don't solve LeBlanc's position. And Reckless is in the Reckless Bush. Like, he needs to walk earlier. So basically it's like, if Ornn walks earlier and R's quicker, then basically he's gonna be in the distance to actually Q and W off of it into E, you know? This is very well played by Vitality. Very well played. But Bo getting that kill means that he's 6. Like, this is really, really well played. This is like good play. And they're really, really fucking Fnatic for what they did. Because it's like, let me tell you this, guys. There's a rule in game. There's this rule. If the enemy team goes like this, okay, with AD, Soup, and Jungle, right? If you go 4-man mid, you need to be able to hover into bot and break the play. But the thing is, they went mid, and LeBlanc was too low HP, they didn't get the kill on perks, and they can't re-enter into bottom side, because the mid laner can't help them. So it's like, whenever you're crossing through mid as support, you need to be able to re-enter bot aggressively. If you have to go all the way around like that, you're GG'd. The game is just over, guys. Not gonna lie, the game is just over. And I really don't want, like, the reason, it's like, Oscarinin played his lane phase really bad, and Photon fucked him for it, yeah? But I would say that how Zeri and Ashe played it was worse. It's like, I don't know what happened, but what on earth how can you lose 3 potions? How can you not gain an advantage? How can you not like leverage your how strong your champions are on early levels? You know? I don't know. I talked to Elias after the game, upset, right? And he's like, yo, did you see what we did to them bot? He was like, I was just fucking harassing him with my fucking passive auto attacks, like the feathers flying. He was making this noise. It's crazy. At least Rux fucked Neo with Ashe. That's not true. Oh no. Oh no. Isn't Zeri dog shit early? No. She's not. Oh no. You guys know Destination Unknown? There's like a... We could make a remix of that. Desperation clearly shown. It's rough, man. It's rough. It's like they can't fucking like. They crashed the bot wave and now they're stacking a wave and then they can't even re-enter bottom side because Adrian's level 4. It's like Vitality take a full clean turret while they have Gale Force and enemy bot lane is slow pushing out. It's like here they can do whatever the fuck they want. They can freeze this forever and Fnatic is just fucked. They could just freeze this forever if they wanted to. They could just freeze. Kaiser could be in fog. The enemy can't break the play. They can't do anything mid. And it's just GG. It's checkmate. But they're showing some mercy here. They're just looking to base and play for tempo, which is perfectly fine. Right? That's also super, super winning. I'm just saying it's like, it's all fucked. Yeah, the thing is, it's like the dynamic of Fnatic, this team, all of these players would look way better in different teams. They need to like start from scratch and do a rebuild. Because now it's like they are just taping all of the holes. And it's like if you rebuild around Humanoid and you have the intention of making Humanoid flourish, then that could work, right? Or, you know, Razork with the right players could work, or each one of these players in the right context would do a lot better than they do currently. Like this context and this dynamic is just carrying too much pain of the past. Yeah, the main thing is just Vitality needs to wait. They just need to wait for Photon to push and let him make the decision for the game, and then it's a lot better. And it's like, I think Rakan should just be top. They have enough vision top side for the enemy not to be able to collapse on them. They also have Gale Force and all that stuff. I think Rakan should just be behind Xayah here. Let Camille push, and then when anyone shows on bot to catch, this is good, you know? I don't think so. Well, once again, Moody Mind shows that he doesn't listen, you know? He doesn't listen. But it's okay. It's like if you in your mind, so it's like I said, right, clearly, my point is each individual player here would look better in a different team, right? Sure, they could also look worse, but odds are they would look better. It's like even if you look at Oscarinin and Advien, they looked a lot better in the LVP. Of course, the competition is different, but those contexts matter, right? As like Humanoid with the right team around him, he could definitely play a lot better. It's just this context is so fucked that no one can really perform. They need to start from scratch. Yeah, for sure. What's his name? Rux looks completely different in the LVP, right? He looks a lot more comfortable there, you know? I don't know if Adrian is LEC level because it's like, of course, it's like it requires finesse to play Ashe. You need to be like really mechanically sharp because you can't fuck up early lane phase. You're not allowed to when you play Ashe, right? Yeah, it's a very different starting from scratch in an off season or like starting from scratch between spring and winter, right? It's a very different question. It's like you don't have any fucking options. Yeah, I think like Jizuke and Razor could be like a very strong pairing, you know? I think that Jizuke would be very good at like covering up the weaknesses of Razork, and I think Razork is the type of player that would really enjoy playing with Jizuke. I think they would like be very dangerous together, as an example, you know? We already saw, right? We already saw fucking, what's his name? We already saw like a combination of Humanoid and Elioya. They are fucking split winners, you know? Yeah, the main issue for Fnatic is like, will promising ARL players, will they want to take a risk and join Fnatic, right? It's like if you look at the ARLs and you look at the promising players, is that really the? It's like, is that the move you want to make? Like, let's say you're on a top LFL team and you win the LFL, right? Is that the risk that you want to take? You know? Thank you very much, One Punch Grill. I'd assume the money is pretty enticing for newer players though, but it's not like, it's like if you budget for this team, okay, like it's not like Fnatic is not spending. They have Wunder on the bench. They were paying for Upset's contract too. They are paying for Humanoid's contract. Keep in mind, Humanoid was bought out of Mad Lions. He still had a contract with Mad Lions. He was bought out, right? It's not like Fnatic is not spending money right now. All in all, right? I think it's important to... It's like, it's fine to critique the gameplay, right? It's very fine to critique the gameplay. I think it's just important to recognize that there's a lot of footage that you can judge these players off of, and I think you can clearly see a pattern of where these players are successful and where they are not. And I think a player like Humanoid, I think in the right circumstance, can still be one of the best mid laners. I think that's 100% true. Like in the right circumstance with the right players, he can be one of the best mid laners. The best of the best players, right? They figure out how to make any team competitive, right? I think Humanoid is the type of player that you need specific players around him in order to be successful, you know? But those players that are these catalysts to make their team better, they are very rare, very rare. And as the league progresses and the league becomes more, you know, as the league becomes more and more competitive, it's harder and harder to do that, right? It's like you mentioned Perks, but Perks even struggled last year, right? Perks was playing individually really well, but he didn't have like the force to carry his team all the way into playoffs, right? I think Perks played good last year. I think Perks played good, especially in summer. I think Perks played good. I feel like Whippo is one of those players, you know? I think Whippo could improve most teams. Like Upset, yeah, the Upset is definitely one of those, you know? Caps is one of those too, you know? But Caps has that gig advantage, right? Caps has that gig advantage that everyone wants to play with Caps. So they can make like the roster however they want, you know? Jankos is damn fucking good, right? But it's just the nature of the game. You can't really... You have to kind of play the hand that you dealt with your teammates, right? Jankos is playing really fucking good on Team Heretics, but he cannot 1v9 the games, right? Nevertheless, this idea of like players individually like 1v9ing, that becomes more and more rare. Yeah, Fnatic just need to figure out, you know, what pieces they want to rebuild around, you know? So the best thing you can do is like you need to take some serious gambles into summer. You need to like research what's going on in the Challenger League in Korea. You need to figure out what's going on everywhere, and you need to fucking be sharp on it right now. You need to like find the players that are going to be like enticing enough for you to take a risk, and you need to fucking rebuild. You need to be willing to fucking uproot everything, you know? This roster will never catch up to anybody, you know? What watch were you wearing during LEC broadcast? I'm wearing a Final Fantasy VII limited edition Cloud Seiko. Yeah, no, it's like the pairing of Razork and Humanoid. It's like a kind of narrative take, but I think it's also very true. I don't think this is a duo that works so well together. Because I think if they did, they could actually carry games. Do you think Reckless is worth keeping? Sadly, it's like, I don't know. I think just the newer generation of AD carries are just so much better, you know? You can't get away with being one-dimensional, you know? So look at the AD carries you have in Europe right now. It's like, I don't know, the next off-season, it's like, if you can get your hands on like Crowny, Kobe, like imagine you can't get Upset or Hansama, right? If you can't get these two, then it's like, yo, you just look at, of course, you look at Crowny, Kobe, right? Well, these are like crazy, you know, Extra Kick. You know, it's like this. There's like so many fucking insane AD carries. I didn't mention Execute because I believe he's on the contract coming into next year, right? Flacket, I haven't been paying attention how he plays in the LVP, but all I'm saying is like there's many ADs that are much better than Reckless right now. Neon had a terrible year, so hard to judge Neon. I think Vitality is playing this so fucking sloppy, but they're getting away with it because they are just 10k gold ahead, so it just doesn't matter what the fuck they are doing. Bro, they're like fucking, they're 15k gold ahead of 20 minutes. Neon was good with Mercer, I don't know what's wrong. Their lane phase was always trash, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, it's like you can't get away anymore with being an AD carry with one defining characteristic. You can't get away with this anymore. You just don't get away. You just don't. Neon likes Tate's tweets so good he's benched. That's such a fucking silly way to view it. It's like, what the fuck? Who cares? Why would people give a shit? Who fucking gives a shit, dude? Who is the next player who will refuse to play for FNATIC? Out of the 5 currently playing. Nah, I doubt. I don't think it's gonna be humanoid. I don't think anyone's gonna be there. Is Reckless overrated? No. Well, where do people rate Reckless? It's like, what 80s do we put above him, right? Me, I refuse. Yeah, he fucking lost the plot. So many people lose the plot. It's like, I would always say, which player out of the 5 that are currently playing will refuse? It's like, me. Alright, so let's think. We have Exakick. We have Exakick. Exakick. We have Crony. You have Kobe. Hans Summer. You have Upset. So let's what other ADs are there in the league? So there's Jack, Comp, there's Patrick. I'm missing one. Kazi. It's like so for sure not. These guys are 100%. These guys are 100% better. There's not even an argument. I think Comp is also better. 100%. Kazi, I think that for the majority of regular split, like for the majority of regular split, like he had some good games. He just has some fucking moments that are so fucking you want to stab yourself in the eye for how he's playing. You know? So those like really stick out, right? But I would prefer Kazi over Reckless, right? And then I think like between Patrick and Reckless, I think like for Jack, it's like he's a rookie, right? And I think that he's shown enough in the ARLs for him to get like a real shot, you know. So I think it just makes sense on paper to stick with Jack, you know. So it's like we end up with like the reckless Patrick conversation, and it's like, why would you want Kazi over reckless? I think Kazi has had some he had some decent games, really. Like you need to look at it as a whole, right? He didn't, but so did fucking reckless, right? So it's like Patrick versus reckless. It's like, I don't want to come across as a fucking hater, but it's like I would probably lean towards Patrick, you know? So it's like, I think it's like, that's tough, right? That's tough. Yeah, but it's like Patrick has limit, right? It's like Patrick has limit. Jack has Mercer. Like obviously, it's like obviously like Hilly could improve some lanes. Mickey could improve some lanes, right? I do want to come across as a hater, and I think Reckless was his in Europe. But there you go. Oh, thank you for the heads up, Raptor Harrington. That's actually a good shout out. How would I rate everyone? Honestly, I would like I'll put Upset first, put Hansama second. Obviously, I'm a bit biased. Like I work with Upset, I know him inside out, right? Honestly, Extra Kick third. I would put Kobe fourth. I would Crowny fifth. I would put Comp sixth. Put Kazi seventh. Eighth. Ninth. 10th. What's up with this decline from Reckless? Well, yeah, 2020 he played really well, and then he played worse. Where would you put Neon? Super rating. Are we really doing this? Where we're rating everybody? Guys, let's do... we rate everybody's performance for the preview video, okay? I don't wanna spill all my juice, you know. I need to make some YouTube content, you know. Today I did like a little FNATIC thing. Gonna make that into a video, post that on YouTube. We will do a little power ranking later, closer to the week, okay? Because we have a lot of things bubbling, okay? A lot of things bubbling. All right, let's check this out, guys. Let's check this out. Why I didn't arrive? Keiko, I will write it. Holy shit, Alena tomorrow plays against Korea. That's sick. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, let's take a look at the fucking Insta-Look Relay Kia Mic Check 2023 LEC Spring Week. Let's have a sniff.
Where was the spot I hated the most? Why? It's so boring. Why is it
Bro,
boring?
you're so tall, dude.
Because they can't reach the ball when you hold it up. You could dunk and you don't like basketball. I know. Such wasted potential.
That's actually true, yeah. You're better cute. Huh? You're better cute.
Oh.
You,
Yeah, it's match of the week. Yes.
Match of the week.
Okay.
Is it actually? It is match of the week. Really?
Yes, it is match of the week. 9th versus 10th, match of the week.
WEAK.
Oh
you
my
get it?
God.
Zerx actually thought they had match of the week. He thought for a moment you have the match of the week. Really? That's so sad, dude. That's kind of cute.
Got my thing, it's so big. What?
Oh, damn.
My,
Oh, damn.
my client.
that's amazing.
I could believe Irrelevant having like a fucking lizard.
Is that your name for it?
Came by here, bro.
Oh, what?
Go behind.
Oh my god, you're good.
Can we look here in this bush?
I'm starting to move, but
Please 20, my dude, 20.
yeah, you can go on him.
Wait, what was the words there? Affiliates no flash, affiliates no flash. Listen to this.
I'm starting to move, but
Listen to this.
Please 20, my dude, 20.
yeah.
Can we look here in this bush?
I'm starting to move, but
Please 20, my dude, 20.
yeah, you can go on him.
If you want to kill him, holy shit, I will dominate with the translation. Thank you very much.
To move, but
Please 20, my dude, 20.
This Certus positioning was really fucking clean. I really appreciate the Certus sneak in here. I play with Koreans. I understand anything.
yeah, you can go on him.
It's actually XQC talking.
I can go Jarvan.
Go forward. Good job.
I can still go, by the way.
There's the wave, Daniel.
You know, play slow is like the fakest communication ever. It's like, what it means is, don't completely fucking lose your mind and run it down.
I can go on him. Yeah, you can go on him. No. Yeah,
That's even worse. It's even worse when it's slowed down.
I can go Jarvan.
Go forward. Good job.
I can still go, by the way.
There's the wave, Daniel.
Gragas is not bot. Gragas is not
I'm
bot
going
yet.
top. Good job, Daniel.
If you want to go with someone else.
No, I cannot.
Bell ranks.
Oh no, it was Tomara, don't worry.
Wait.
Oh no,
Can you meow for me? Bell
No,
rank.
I cannot.
Bell ranks.
oh no, it was Tomara, don't worry.
Once again.
You liked it?
I loved it.
There's no way, there's no Malphite emotes. I refuse to believe it. Riot Games, please.
Oh my god, they need to make it the Rock Malphite emote when it does the eyebrow thing.
Oh yeah. They need to do the Drainer Rock Johnson.
Yeah.
You have caps lock.
Oh yes. Okay.
We have Dawson on support.
You does.
Dawson support.
We have Dawson support.
I should go here, guys.
Go, yeah, come to me. Come to me.
Okay, I hit
Oh, soon.
They're losing a lot of
Yeah, good job.
Can I see lever?
I combo them all.
Oh, my ulti is huge. Zion flash here.
Give me Penta.
Good job.
Zion no flash.
Keep going. Come on two. Look at this.
Penta.
Nice. Good job, guys. Let's go, Hans.
Oh my god, giving Hans dream.
Actually, it's the only pencil you can ever get because BB is not there.
Yeah, I really think Eddie carry OP or.
Yeah, I think so too, but Better top always win.
Okay, sure, let's go. Today I won.
Bro, don't crack my neck on live.
For now it's fine.
Jesus, what the fuck are these sound
Luca,
effects,
can I
bro?
come this way?
That was so fucking hard to listen to.
Easy in one shot. Can I get balloon?
Yeah, if you want me to rage quit.
Can I get still your penta?
Yeah, if you want me to leave the team.
Photo is like the cutest person on the planet, dude. He's so cute. Look at him.
You want me to rage quit.
Look at him, dude. Oh,
Can I get
man.
still your penta?
Yeah, if you want me to leave the team.
No vision on me. Go, 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 go,
Yeah,
go,
go, go, go,
go,
go,
go, go, go. Jace is moving to mid. I have TP in 5. Holy shit, Perks.
Nice, good job.
Yeah, you see my
I
back
can't
deeper?
take them all. I can't take them all.
Yeah,
You can.
I'm going
They
bot.
have no.
I'm going bot. I'm going bot.
you can go.
Well played, guys.
I don't know if I can stop bases.
Hit this, hit this.
Smite, they don't smite, so I'm gonna attack.
Oh, I failed.
I can't defend.
Oh, I feel so bad for Jankos, man. Bro, his voice is so fucked, dude. Listen to him, dude. He was so sick this weekend, man. God bless Jankos, dude. Poor Jankos.
Smite, they don't smite, so I'm
Jeez, oh man.
gonna attack.
Oh, I failed.
I can't defend.
Oh my god. Is he ending?
I'm stopping Rise.
In hell.
Sorry for
the banger.
Sorry for the last time.
Oh, El Clasico, yes. Oh my god.
Nice button
Jesus.
KD, like